West Ham United 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. The team that we just can't seem to beat, home or away, yet again proved to be the case. What a bizarre game, that first half. The referee, got to be honest, got to talk about him first because he was the worst of the lot. Same referee that had all the controversies when we played them away from home, when Dinos Mavropanos got a boot in his face and the handball wasn't given and they scored. And same ref, completely had no control of the game at all, and demonstrated just how awful a referee he was again tonight. 3 penalties. We thought that when Brighton missed their second penalty, we thought he was going to let him take it again. But it wasn't to be. Some very strange decisions, some very bizarre situations that was going on. And we're just not getting the rub of the green. We didn't play badly tonight, but then again, we didn't play badly against Fulham last weekend either. But we're just not getting the rub of the green at the moment. We just seem to be forever. Every time there's a second ball falls down, everything, a rebound or whatever, sort of hit a player, just always fell to them. But I guess you've got to create your own chances, you've got to create your own luck, and we've just not been doing that at the moment, West Ham. Look, a point is better than nothing. It's 4 points behind Nottingham Forest, who lost tonight, but it just looks like now it's 4 teams that are looking likely to go down. 3 or 4 teams that are looking likely to go down, and we just got to try and catch up against Forest. We've got to win against Wolves, and that's going to be tricky, isn't it? They haven't won a game all season. Hold my beer, West Ham United, because we'll probably give Wolves something that they've been craving for all season. If we can get the 3 points on Saturday against Wolves, then we've got Forest at home, and then hopefully if we beat them, then we may, depending on their result, we may go above them. So let's hope that happens. We just need to climb out of that relegation zone. But look, line up, everybody was happy. We had a striker starting. Callum Wilson started the game. And I know he hasn't got the legs. I know he isn't the sort of player that he was 3, 4, 5 years ago. But at least we had a focal point in Wilson. And he didn't get on the end of a lot of balls, but at least he had endeavour and he had drive, and he was a focal point for us, and it was good to have him start. Somerville was the fall guy, as I predicted. I kind of knew that Somerville would be the guy. Paqueta was never going to be dropped, but Somerville was the one that got dropped, and we looked all right. We got the early goal. We went at them, and then of course, despite us going a goal up, they got a penalty. Look, was it a penalty? Yeah, Kilman stuck his foot out, fouled Minter, who was giving us quite a torrid time down the right side of attack, in their attack. Glad that he got injured and got taken off in the second half, but he was one of their main outlets, Minter. He won the penalty. It was a fair penalty. And then, minutes later, another one. Now, how many times have you seen players grappling in the penalty box when there's a corner, etc.? Hardly ever is there an award for a penalty. But of course, it's West Ham United, so they got awarded a second penalty. And I'm glad Welbeck missed it. He was being rather cheeky in the way he tried to chip it. And then chaos, because all hell broke loose, and we thought, what on earth is going on? And I did think for 1 minute, for a moment, that they were going to let him take the penalty again, but that wasn't to be. Didn't materialise, and then of course we went up and got our own penalty. Difficult to tell, but it was a handball. Ironically, of the 3 penalties that were given, the referee waved that one away. It was VAR that told him to have another look. He was an awful referee. But look, we're 2-1 up, but we can't seem to kill games off. We can't go for the jugular. We're not capable, and yet again we conceded a goal, such a soft goal, their equaliser for 2-2. Players in the middle are keeping this team together at the moment. Potts, Magassa and Fernandes are the engine in that team, and without them we would suffer. And they have been, but the players around them, as I've said in the review, in the reflection I did against Fulham, the players around them are just kind of letting them down. Our defenders can't defend, our strikers, our attackers can't score goals. And if it wasn't for the likes of those three young lads, God knows where we'd be. Well, probably can be much worse than we are, I guess. Look, what was interesting and what was good, but also concerning, was that we ended up with 4 academy players on the pitch at the end of the game. There was Ollie Scarles, who shook off the disappointment against Fulham and did really well on the left-hand side. A couple of errors again, but he wasn't the only one. Scarles and Freddie Potts were on the pitch, and Mohamedou Kante and Ezra Myers were all on the pitch, all at the same time. I'm sure there was 4. And then we've got young Fernandes and other young players on the pitch that we bought. And what a youthful looking West Ham side. But you could tell when Nuno talks about there being an imbalance, not enough selection in the squad. We know what he means, because with the greatest of respect, Thomas Souček coming on again really didn't sort of offer much, but he hasn't got any other choice. Somerville came on, and we need an alternative to him as well. We need an alternative to Bowen too. I mean, Bowen took the goal well. Paqueta actually passed it, really good pass, shades of Prague, a Paqueta ball. Bowen got on the end of it. So well done to those two. But we need more from them. Maybe I'm expecting too much because of the calibre of players that they are. But the youthful side that we had out there, and it was quite encouraging to actually see so many young players on the pitch, and 4 academy players. But it's too much to ask for. I like Kante. I thought he looked quite good when he came on. Ezra Myers looks fairly assured. We know what we're getting from Ollie Scarles and what we're getting from Freddie Potts now. So fair play to Nuno for bringing those youngsters on. That's really encouraging. But it's evident that we can't rely on such young players to get us out of this mire at the moment. We just need a bit of luck to go our way. We didn't play badly, but Brighton are a very good side. The way they do their passing, their movement in their passing, it's fluid, it's quick, it's rapid, and what we were doing, we were scrappy, was sort of like getting on the end of the ball. We couldn't pass it to players, in the first half, despite sort of going 2-1 up. We were struggling sometimes to get the ball from player A to player B, and whereas you look at Brighton and the way they played their football, and it seems so easy for them, such confidence, such movement. Hertzler's got them playing really, really good football, very attractive looking football. That's where we want to be, but we're miles away from that at the moment. We're scrapping, and when you're down at the bottom, things just don't go your way. Having 2 penalties against us, scrappy second goal, their equaliser from a corner, every time, a 50-50 challenge went in and the ball just dropped, always seemed to drop to their players. I said at one point it felt like they had 2 or 3 more players on the pitch than we did, because every time a ball dropped, it just fell to one of their feet. It's like how we dropped a little bit deeper in the second half. Again, that was quite concerning at 2-2 with the minutes ticking by. It was a concern, but I guess we held out. A few boos when Wilson got taken off. Nuno got booed for making that substitution. Paqueta went off. I don't know if Paqueta got booed off or if there was another boo that he was being taken off. That I can't tell, but certainly the first one when Wilson got taken off, that was a boo again. That was towards Nuno. But what can he do? Wilson is not able to give us a 90-minute game. He was flagging. He wasn't really, but the irony is, the minute Wilson came off, we didn't have that outlet. Even if he only sort of half fit. That outlet went, and it made it a lot easier for their defenders. All of a sudden they were finding more space. Their central defenders were taking the ball right up to the halfway line, sometimes further, and no pressure on them. So that's the difference that a striker gives you, and I just hope that we get a striker in very, very quickly. Now, apparently, the rumour is that there was a player that we're looking to sign, the left back from Utrecht, and his name is completely gone, Karouani or something like that. Apparently was in the crowd. I don't know how true that is, but it's what I was told before the game. So clearly, we're looking at our first signing almost imminently. Now, people are asking, hang on a minute, we've got Ollie Scarles and we've got El Hadji Malik Diouf. Why do we need another left back? I've got a suspicious feeling that we're going to use one of these players a bit further forward to give us that option when Somerville's just not doing it. Give us that option, maybe Diouf. But this guy from Utrecht, I think it's you look up his name. I think what's going to happen is he's had about 6 or 7 assists in Utrecht. He's got 6 months left on his contract. He's already said that either he's happy to stay at Utrecht if they extend his contract, or he's happy for Utrecht to make money on him by selling him. So it looks like he's coming to us, and I think he's good on assists. He plays as a left wing back, so maybe he might play as a left winger, an option when Somerville's not doing it. So fair play. We've got one almost over the line. Now we just got to start looking at bringing in. We need a striker. We absolutely do. We need a central defender. Kilman doesn't fill me with confidence. Dinos, is all right. Todibo is now injured. We don't know how bad that is, but Todibo went off injured. So we are desperate now. We need a central defender. So hopefully there's someone lined up that we're going to get almost imminently as well. Let's hope we don't mess around in this transfer window. The minute it opens, I want to hear that we've signed at least 2 players within the first few days of that window opening. We've got to do it. We've got another crucial game coming up away to Wolves this coming Saturday. A point is better than nothing, I guess, but we really, really needed 3. But how many times have we said that this season where, we're sort of almost there, we think we're going to win a game and then we just lose it at the last minute. So, look, 2-2 against the bogey team, I guess I'll take that. We've got to go and win this coming Saturday against Wolves, and then next week we've got to go and beat Nottingham Forest at home. Get 6 points from the next 2 games, so we would have got 7 points out of 9. Maybe that's not so bad. See you all again soon.